Okay, we said that Gemishna describes the five calamities that occurred on Shiva Asa B'Tammuz, and there's 5 calamities that occurred on Tisha B'Av. So the Gemara, we did the 5 calamities to Shiva Asa B'Tammuz. We're up to the 5 calamities that occurred on Tisha B'Av. So we're up to Chaf Tes Amid Aleph, right? 2 lines from the top. Chaf Tes Amid Aleph, 2 lines from the top. It says, B'Tisha B'Av, Nigzar ala Vosenu Shalai Yikonsul Aretz Minalan. How do you know the Meraglim came back, guys, on Shiva Asa B'Tammuz? How do you know the Meraglim came back on not Shiva Asa B'Tammuz, on Tisha B'Av? So it's going to give a cheshbon of a few events, guys. The event when the Mishkan was put up, when 3 days late, 3 days a trip after the Mishkan was put up for 3 days, the days that the Afsuf ate meat for 7 days. Then Miriam was confined for 7 days. She was on because of Mitzras, and the spies was spent 40 days. It's going to give us a total lot of, from the first day of Nisan to the 40th day of, it's going to be 40 days later after Nisan is going to be the 9th day of Av. So that's the cheshbon. Let's go through the places. It says, Vayhi b'chodesh harishon b'shana. It wasn't the first year. The chodesh rishon on the first year. The first month. B'shana Hashenis in the second year. Be'echad l'chodesh on the first day of the month. Hukam Mishkan. The Mishkan was put up. So we're on Chaf Tes Amid Aleph, 4 lines from the top. V'amar Shana Rishona Asa Moshe Esa Mishkan. The first year he made the Mishkan. Shniya Heikem Mishkan. Heikem Moshe Esa Mishkan. The second year he put it up. So now we know that it was put up on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. The Shalach Meraglim. So the second year, what did Moshe do? We know we've ascertained the same year that Moshe made the Mishkan, he sent out the Meraglim. That's all the fact we have to know. The second year of Yetzias Mitzrayim, when he put up the Mishkan, that same year he sent the Meraglim, and that's going to give us the cheshbon from Rosh Chodesh Av of the Mishkan was put up to 40 days later to Tisha B'Av. Okay, so now. Because the second month, Nala Anon, it went up, the Anon went up. They went for 3 days. That was the day they turned after HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They complained about the meat. That's the Erev Rav Asher B'Kirboy, Yesavu Taiva, V'Yeshuv, V'Yivchu, Gam B'nei Yisrael. They're going to eat meat, which is the 22nd day of Sivan. Miriam Miriam was put away for 7 days. 22 and 7 is 29th day of Sivan. They came back after what? 40 days. So Hani says the Gemara again. I said before 40 days from Rosh Chodesh Nisan. I was wrong. I didn't mean that. I meant it was 40 days after what? After the 29th day of Sivan. So the question is, you go 40 days, it only gives you 20. It only gives you the 8th day of Av, not the 9th day of Av. Right? So Hani Arboim Yom Nechichad. It's only 39 days. I'm Rabbi, Tammuz to have a Shasa Tammuz of that year. Maluya Malya was a 30, not a 29. I'm calling out the day Lishba B'chorei to break down my B'chorei. The pasuk in Eicha describes the Kari Alei Moyed, the Moyed, the day, the Moyed, the time, the set time. Tisha B'Av is the time. That year was Tisha B'Av. It was a full. Tammuz was a full to give us the day of Tisha B'Av that the Meraglim came back. When they heard the news of the Meraglim, Vayidnu as Karlim lift up his voice, Vayivchu Ha'am, and they all started crying, Balaylahu. And Allah Aleinu, we get a report from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rabbi Yochanan, Tishvav Haya Omer, Amal HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That day was Tishvav, Amal HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to them, Atem Bechisa and Bechia Shel Chinam, you're crying in Bechina of Chinam. V'ani Kavei Lechem Bechia L'Doiris. I'm going to go ahead and set a Bechia L'Doiris. You're going to be crying, and that's the day of Tisha B'Av. Throughout history, some awful events occurred in Tisha B'Av. Latest being World War I broke out in Tisha B'Av. World War I. If you speak to anyone from Europe, they said that was the end of the yeshivas, the end of the yeshivas. We think it was World War II. Really, World War I. They never recovered from World War I. After World War I was that bahala, the confusion in Europe. Okay. Charav Abayis B'Rishon. So that's the first thing on Tisha B'Av. Charav Abayis B'Rishon that we said that. So the Meraglim came back. They got that, and also what happened on Tisha B'Av is that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. Charav Abayis B'Rishon. Dichsev. It said we're going to have two psukim. One is going to say it was destroyed on the 7th. One's going to say it was on the 10th, and it's going to go ahead and make up the difference between 7 to 10. It was the 5th month, the month of Av, on the 7th day of the month. It was the 19th year of the Melech Nebuchadnezzar's reign. Bodin was Radan, Rav Tapachim. There was Radan, who was literally the head of the butchers. Eved Melech Bavel Yerushalayim Yisrael Beis Hashem. He came and he burnt down the Beis Hamikdash. That says the 7th. Ukasiv, it says b'chodesh hachamishi be'esel l'chodesh. It says the 10th. Guys, it says b'chodesh shvi be'esel l'chodesh. You have a problem. One said 7, one says 10. Again, the same information. Shnas Shah Esrei Shana LeMelech Nebuchadnezzar Melech Bavel Bo Nevas Radan Rav Tabachim Eved Lefnei Melech Amad Lefnei Melech Bavel B'Yerushalayim. So the phrase, how do you go ahead and explain this discrepancy? Okay, it said, how do you explain it? Is b'shiva nichnasu nachem lehechol on the 7th day, the nachem entered. V'achlu, they ate v'kilkuloi shvi shmini v'mekalkal, the terrible things on the 7th day and the 8th day. With the Shi on the 9th day, samach hasheicha, as they were going mamish towards twilight, it's hisu boyasar, they lit it up. Was burning the whole day. As the shadows of evening came, there was burning. Rabbi Yochanan said, you know what? If I would have been at that time, I wouldn't have been kaveh on the 9th day, on the 10th day. On the 10th day, most was burnt. For Rabbanon who held the 9th day, why they were kaveh on the 9th day, is chalta the peronius adi, for the beginning of a peronius. A punishment is more important than the roiv of the actual burning. So since the beginning began on the 9th towards the evening, that's when we have Kaveh Tisha B'Av. So that's the first Beis Hamikdash. Ubishniya, the second Beis Hamikdash was destroyed on Tisha B'Av. Where do you know that from? The Tanya. It makes a lot of sense. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes ahead and brings about schus. Not only does he bring about through people who are trustworthy and fine people, and people who are the opposite, he brings about negative things. The mail is the same thing when it comes to time, to days. So because God is going to go ahead and destroy it, he's going to destroy it on a day that's an ominous day. That when the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, a little I got it to what happened that they always say Yoim Erev Tisha B'Av. It was Erev Tisha B'Av. Motzei Shabbos. It was a Motzei Shabbos. Motzei Shvias Haisa, and it was a Shemitah year. And it was Shemrasa Shel Yehorav Haisa, and it was the Mishmar of Yehorav. That was the one who didn't come back. And that's why Yedaya got his place, we said the other day, right? Because he came back from Bavel. Even though he was the first one. The Levim was saying Shira, they were staying on the Duchen. Now they should have been saying, guys, they should have been saying the Shir of Sunday, correct? Because it was Sunday. What Shir they said? They said the Wednesday Shir. What does it say in the Wednesday Shir? Like Ruach HaKodesh, they're saying the Wednesday Shir. And what is the last pasuk in the Wednesday Shir? And he turned them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu turned against them, and the evil cut them off. They didn't have a chance to say that Hashem will cut them off. The Nachum came in and they conquered them. So the same thing happened in the second bias. It's the exact same thing. So that's how we know that the Meraglim, that's on the two bati. So we have two more events that occurred. Again, we have 3 so far. We have the Meraglim, we have the two bati. Mikdash is being destroyed. And look at the Beitar. Beitar was a large city. We know so many people were killed, and the Romans didn't let us bury them. That's why they had the nest that happened. We added a bracha to benching, because they came and they found out that everyone was, even though they were dead, they were allowed to bury them, and their bodies were intact. They were not putrefied. Look at the Beitar Gemara. We have a Messiah on that. We don't know why it happened on Tisha B'Av, or a Messiah that it happened on Tisha B'Av. The final thing, Necho She'er Tenesrupis Russia. He went ahead and he plowed over Yerushalayim. Tanya. When he went ahead and he plowed over the Hechel, it was a Gzeira came from the Romans to kill Rabbi Gamliel, the Nasi. One of the head honchos of Rome came to Beis HaMedrash and he announced, I'm looking for the Balachaitim, literally the person with a big nose, a person of stature. Shomer of Gamliel Azal Tashminayo, and Rabbi Gamliel understood, and he went and he hid from the Romans. In other words, this was the Romans' way, this guy of warning Rabbi Gamliel that they're after him. Also, Lagabe Bitsina, this Roman knew that Rabbi Gamliel was hiding. He went to him clandestinely, and Amalei, if I save you, Maisisli la'alma da'asi, will I come to the next world? Samalei hein, said Regam will. Amalei said the Roman Ishtabali, swear to me. So Ishtabali swore to him. So Solik le'igra nafal amayis. But this Roman went up to the roof and he killed himself. With a Gemiri, and there was a Messiah, the Chigazre Gezerasa. If there was a Gezer, that was the creed. Umis Chad Minayu, and one of the head Romans dies, so this guy killed two birds with one stone. He went ahead, he was able to be mattel the Gezerah and able to get the Zaylam Haba. Yatz Baskol came out from Umrah. Adan Zeh Muzuman L'Chayel Haba. This Adan is Muzuman L'Chayel Haba. Fascinating. Tanarabanan. Mishacharav Abayis B'Rishoino, when the first place in English was destroyed, another fascinating event. This Kapsu Kitais Shel Pirchei Kahuna, a bunch of young Kahanim, they went to Maftechas HaHechel B'Yadin. They had Maftechas that opened the Hechel, they had it in their hands. They went up to the Gag, of Rabbi Shalom. Since we weren't Zoichet to be, Gizbarim caretakers, because look what happened to us. You Maftechas Masurim L'cha here, take back the keys. Uzorkim Klape Maila, they threw the keys up. The Yatza Ke'ain Pisas Yada, like a palm came down. The Kiblasam him and caught it. And they jumped into flames were burning. They jumped into flames and killed themselves. Baleim Koni Yishayo Hanavi. Yishai wrote a kina. He wrote a terrible lamentation about this. But Happy said, Masa Gei Chizoyon Malach Efoy Kialisa Kulach Lagagois. They went up to the roof. Teshuais Malaya Ir Chamia. The ear was full of. The city was full of Hamia. Was full of Bahala, confusion. Aliza chalayach lechal lecherev, right? The people who died, the chalalim, they weren't chal lecherev, they weren't killed by the sword. Like Mason lecham, in order to die in battle. Well, how did they die? They died only because they jumped off the roof. Avkadosh Baruch Hu, Nemar Kadosh Baruch Hu said about these people, the karker kir v'shaya alahar. He cries about the mountain of what happened on Har Tzion. Okay, that finishes off what happened on Shavas B'Tammuz. It finishes off what happened on Tisha B'Av. We all know this halacha. When Mav comes around, it's a time to go ahead and be a Mayat Simcha. Amar Rav Yehuda Breid Rav Shmuel Bar Shilas. The names are important, Mishmei Derav, because we're going to have a few statements. The statements, all in the statements, is Shas of Rav Yehuda in the name of the son of Bar Shmuel of Shilas in the name of Rav. Kishem Machnes Av Mematim B'Simcha Kach Mishenichnas of Marvin B'Simcha Amid Beis. So to what? When we enter of, we should go ahead and increase our simcha. Amar Papa Hilchach, what's the nafkamin halacha? By Yisrael, this ledina bahadi nachri, a guy a yid who has a court case with a guy, the shtamit minei ba'ov. You should go ahead and slip away enough. Like you get the court, you get the ticket. You're always going ahead and canceling, delaying the ticket, till finally hope something happens. The reya mazle, the mazel's bad. The lamse nafshe ba'adar. He should wait to go ahead and adar. The bari mazle, because it's literally healthy, the mazel's healthy, you should wait to that. Okay, that was the first statement of Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Rav Shmuel Bar Shilas, in the name of Rav. Here's the second statement. To give you hope for the future. Amar Rav Yehuda Rav Shmuel Bar Shilas Mishmei Rav. What does it mean hope for the future? When we went to Bavel, guys, Elu dekolim the clay pishtan. In Bavel, we had clay pishtan linen. And we had what? We had the color. We had dates, which is a good food source. We said, remember, Ula came to Babel and he was amazed at what he was amazed at that at how much dates were available, and he said, how can people not learn? And then he got sick for eating too much of it. But there was plentiful food of fruit in Babel. Okay, a third statement from Rav Yehuda, in the name of the son of Rav Shmuel Vashilis. Vayoma Reach, Yaakov Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu says, when Yaakov comes in, it says, Vayoma Re'ei Si, Reach B'ni K'reach Sada Sheberach Hashem. Read the Reach of my son is like the Reach the Sada that Hashem benched, right? Amar of Yehuda, Breder Shmuel, Bashilas Moshe Derav, K'reach Sada Shal Tapuchim. It was like a field of what? Of Tapuchim. I had spoken out over here. He smelled the clothing. These clothing was given into Adam Gan Eden. And when Yaakov put them on, he said, Adam Yaakov Vina looked exactly like Adam. So he was able to smell Gan Eden. Now, I want to show you something fascinating. He says it smelled like apple trees. If you look, there's a little taisus over here, 2 lines down, little taisus, second taisus on the page. Shel tapuchim, yesh mefarshim, tapuchim kireach esroigim. We have a Messiah on different, what the Eitz Hadas was. One says it was Teina, one says it was a Chita. we had Daf Chavav in Rosh Hashanah that before the chait, it was the food was all processed, so you could eat a chita raw. We said it's a geffen, so teina a geffen or a chita, or it was an esrig. The woman saw that eitz was good to eat. The only fruit that you could eat the eitz is the esrig, right? We said that it's the only fruit that is machshav rishon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's eitz pri isa pri. It's the only one to listen to Hashem, and that's the hiddur of the esrig. So I was wondering, do you all know that myth that the eitz hadas was an apple tree, right? You heard that, right? That the eitz hadas was an apple tree. What do you see over here? They called an apple an esrig. They called tapuchim. So they mistakenly thought tapuchim and esrig, they thought made an apple. That's where probably it comes from. Probably this in this Gemara. Very interesting. Okay. Shabbos shachal Tisha B'av liyos b'soichai asurim l'saper u'lechabes. A halacha, the week of Tisha B'av, it's also to take a haircut and it's also to wash your clothing. Rav Nachman, says Rav Nachman, lo yishanu, that it's also to wash your clothing or to take a haircut. Ella, to wash your clothing, it's focusing on el l'chabes v'lilvosh, to wash it and wear it. Aval l'chabes u'laniach, to wash it and leave it and not wear it, then mutter. That's what Rav Nachman says. So the issur of washing clothing the week of Tisha B'av, according to Rav Nachman, is only washing and wearing, but washing and leaving would be permitted. Rav Sheshus disagrees. No, afilu l'chabes u'laniach asar. Even to go ahead and wash it and leave it, it would be asar. So washing period you can't do. Rav Sheshus Teda, I'll show you a proof that you can't wash and leave. The botli katzri de Rav, the laundries of Rav's shut down during the week of Tisha B'av. The laundromats are closed. Why? Because you don't have the option of washing and leaving. If you could wash and leave, why aren't the cleaners open, right? Maser Rav Amnuna, he's going to ask on Rav Nachman, who said that it's mutter to go ahead and wash and leave. Maser Rav Nachman, right? It says, Ubechamishi mutarim if they cover a Shabbos. On Thursday, it's permitted to wash because covered a Shabbos. My mutarim, what does mutarim mean? Ilay melachabes. If you're going to say what it means to wash, v'lilbush and wear, my covered Shabbos. Guys, wash and wear. It's Thursday. It's not Shabbos. Ella must be laniach, and it must be that what to wash and leave. Ubechamishi the shari dafka on Thursday, and for covered Shabbos, you're able to wash it to wear it on Shabbos. Aval Shabbos kula asa. The rest of the week is asa. So therefore, you see kasha on Rav Nachman, who says it's mutter to wash and leave. You see, that's not like that. It means to wash and to leave and to wear. And speaking where he only has one shirt. If a person only has one shirt, then you able to wash and wear. A person who only has one shirt, they used to have a tunic. The shirt means this whole beged. It's permitted to wash in Chol Shalmoid, even though we don't wash in Chol Shalmoid. If you only have one, you could. So who adin, if you only have one, you could wash and wear it on Thursday. So it's not a kasha on me. Because that's speaking washing and wearing. And Einachinami, it's speaking about washing and wearing. But washing and leaving, you could even do earlier in the week. Itmanami, Amar of Binyamin, Amar of Elazar. Rav Elazar is going to agree with Rav Nachman that you could wash and leave. The issur of washing the week of Tisha B'av is only what? L'chabes v'lilbosh. Avo, l'aniach mutar. So again, Rav Elazar seems to agree with Rav Nachman that you're able to wash and to leave. Meisivei, also l'chabes l'fnei Tisha B'av, afil l'aniach, la'acha Tisha B'av, the gayotz. Okay, so there you got there's your kash right there. It's also to go ahead and wash before Tisha B'av, the week before Tisha B'av, afil l'aniach la'acha Tisha B'av, even to go ahead and leave if you have Tisha B'av. So you can't do it. The gayotz shalanu, and in Bavel they used to go ahead and press their clothing. Kikiba shalahem is like washing in Eretz Yisrael, and therefore it's biyasha. The kli pishna name is from gayotz, but kli pishna, if it doesn't press well, is not a problem. Tiyufta from the first part of the brisa that clearly says that you can't wash to leave is a tiyufta to Rav Elazar and to Rav Nachman who said you could. Shalach Rav Yitzchak bar Giyure mishmei de Rav Yochanan. Afa pish amru kli pishtan eimei mishum gayotz. Even though we said linen, there's no problem of gayotz. Gayotz was the type of cleaning that they had in Bavel. They touched pressing. I will also l'loishan b'Shabbos shechal Tisha B'av liyos b'seichar. It'd be also to wear in the week that Tisha B'av occurs. Amarav l'shanu elo lefanav. That's only before Tisha B'av. I will achrav mutter. Let's say Tisha B'av guys comes out on a Wednesday. So you would be not the week of, you wouldn't be able to go ahead on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But on Thursday, Friday, you would be able to wear it. That we say that you are usher is only lifnei Tisha B'av. But if the shechal, but the day after Tisha B'av, that be permitted. Shmuel Amar, afilu achrav nami usher. Shmuel says even afterwards it'll be usher the whole week. Even though Tisha B'av occurred in the middle of the week, it'll be usher the whole week. Meisivei Shabbos shechal Tisha B'av liyos b'soifai. The week that Tisha B'av falls out in the middle of the week, usher l'saper u'lechabes. It's usher to take a haircut and to wash. Ubechamishi mutarim, and the fifth right if they cover the Shabbos. So what do you see? You see that what l'chayra you're able to, as we're going to see right now. Ketzad chal yoisbecha b'Shabbos. If Tisha B'av falls out on a Sunday, mutar l'chabes kol hashana kula. You can wash the whole week. B'sheni b'shlishi b'revi. If Tisha B'av comes out on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, ubechamishi, and we're on Thursday, the fun of asar. Sunday would be asar. La'achrav, and Friday would be mutar. If it falls out on Friday, mutar lechabes b'chamishi. It's mutar to go ahead and be mechabes on Thursday. If they cover the Shabbos, goes cover the Shabbos. I read it wrong. I think the way to read it before. B'sheni, if it falls on I guess not like sheni shlishi. If it falls on any way, let's say it falls out on a Monday, or it falls out on a Tuesday, or a Wednesday, or a Thursday, then the fun of asala from mutar. That's the way you read it. Chal yois be'erev Shabbos. If it falls out on Friday, then mutar lechabes b'chamishi b'chol Shabbos. Then loy kives b'chamishi. And if you didn't wash on Friday, then Shabbos mutar lechabes. Be'erev Shabbos min mincha l'mayla. You go ahead and you wash after chatzos. Laidala Abaye would curse anyone that would go ahead and leave it to on Erev Tisha on Tisha B'av itself. It's fully Erev that you're washing on Tisha B'av itself. It's falling on Friday on Tisha B'av. V'tem Ravacha B'Yakov. Chal yes b'sheni ubechamishi. If it falls out on a Monday or a Thursday, Kairin Shleisha, you call up three people. Umafter Echad, and the third person means the mafter, because we lay in on Mondays and Thursdays because of the Takana of Ezra. B'shlishi b'vi, it falls out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Kaira echad, one person reads after and he gets the mafter with it. So only one person reads. Rabbi says no. You call three, and the last person gets mafter, even if it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday, right? Even if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. What's the kasha? You saw that after the days it's mutter, not like Shmuel. Shmuel said that the whole week is asa. We saw in the first part of the brisa that only b'sheni b'shlishi, only before Tisha B'av would be asa, but afterwards would be mutter. That's a tiyuf to the Shmuel. Like Shmuel says Tanoi, it's machlokes Tanoim, and I have a Tana that I go according to. Again, what does Shmuel say? That the whole week is asa. Shmuel said the whole week is asa, even after Tisha B'av. If Tisha B'av falls out on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is asa, right? We have a brisa that says no, only Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is asa. It doesn't make a difference. No, Shmuel disagrees. Why? Because he has a Tana that goes according to him. Let's meet that Tana who goes according to Shmuel that the whole week is asa. The Tanya with Brisa. Tisha B'av shechal yes b'Shabbos. Tisha B'av falls out on Shabbos v'chein erev Shabbos. Ba'av shechal or B'av shechal v'chein erev Tisha B'av shechal yes b'Shabbos. Whether it's Friday or Shabbos, you can eat to your heart's desire. Umala al shulchani afil k'suda shleima b'shaita. Even when shleima b'shaita, meaning before he was sent away by Ashmed and in the beginning. The asa l'saper l'chabes. It's also to take a haircut. It's also to go ahead and wash me. Reish Chodesh v'ad tainis. Div Reb Meir mamish from the Reish Chodesh till the tainis you can't wash. Reb Yehuda Aimer kol Chodesh kuli asa, the whole month is asa. Hashem Yolima eino aser elo oisei Shabbos bilvad. There you got it, guys. What's aser? Only that week. Says Shmuel, you have a brisa that's kosher to me. Of course, it says if Tisha B'av, I'm giving just an arbitrary day. If Tisha B'av falls out on a Tuesday, then Sunday and Monday is asa. And Wednesdays and Thursdays mutter. That's one Tana. I hold like Reb Shimon Gamliel that if it falls out on a Tuesday, the whole week is asa. I have a Tana going according to me. It's not a problem. The Tanya Yidach, we learned another brisa. Now this brisa, again, we have the teretz already. It's just an extension regarding avelis, that you should be noyig avelis certain times. The Tanya Yidach, we have another brisa. The noyig evil when noyig avelis meirish chodesh v'ad tainis, right? We should act like Avelim, but not your novel. We should act like a novel from Rosh Chodesh to Tainus. The whole month of Av should be Avelis. In other words, just like whatever's used in Avelis, that it would be used then also as well. Again, only that week. So now we have three opinions. We have from the Remeya, from Rosh Chodesh until Tisha B'Av. We have Rabbi Yehuda's Moschumet the whole month, and Rabbi Shimon only the week. Good. So again, we have no kasha on the previous Gemara. This is just a statement, those 3 days. And now we're going ahead and showing each one. Where does Rabbi Meir know the whole month? Where does Rabbi Yehuda know 2 weeks? And where does Rabbi, it's the opposite. Rabbi Meir goes 2 weeks, Rabbi Yehuda the whole month, and Rabbi Shimon Gamliel 1 week, the week of Tisha B'Av. Rabbi Yechon, Ushlosh Mikor Nechadashu. Stai Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, they all learn from the same pasuk. It says, what does the pasuk say? V'hishbati kol misasai, I'll bring all your happiness, chaga, hachag, Chodsha hamonths, b'Shabbata. I'm going to end it. I'm going to bring it to an end. Madi Resh Chodesh Vedatainis. He's going to dash in which word? Amid Aleph, Echaga. He's going to dash in what? When it says a Chag, which is Resh Chodesh, from Resh Chodesh until the Tainis. Umad Amar Kol Chodesh Kuli Asa Mechodsha. It says the month. Umad Amar Kol Shabbos Kula Asa Mishabbata. He's going to learn a lot from the word Shabbos, from it says Shabbat that week. Amar Rabba Halach Reb Shimon Gamliel that only the week of Tisha B'Av is Asa, before and afterwards. Amar Rabba Halach Reb Meir. Rabba, however, Rabba also said the halach is like Reb Meir. Now, what does that mean? You just told me the halach is like Reb Shimon Gamliel, and they told the halach is Reb Meir. But Shavai L'Kula, he's giving both kulas. He's giving what? Both kulas. Let's see Rashi. Shavai L'Kula can be fashioned as we're going to see. The lefan of Muki Halacha Reb Meir regarding before the halach is like Reb Meir. The lefan of Loila Achrov. That only in front of it is also, but not afterwards. Shabbos, I feel the fun of Mutta. So, in other words, Lei Reb Meir, Rav Shimon Gamliel would say the following: the fun of the week before Tisha B'Av it's Mutta, but it's like Reb Meir who says after Tisha B'Av it's Mutta also. Lei Rav Shimon, the whole week is Asa. So Allah is like Reb Meir that after Tisha B'Av it's Mutta. But Allah is like Rav Shimon Gamliel that the week before Tisha B'Av it's Mutta, not like Reb Meir that the week before is Asa. So you have the coolers of both of them. Some Rabbi Lach Reb Shimon Gamliel, but Rabbi Lach Reb Meir. But Shavaya L'Kula. But Tzricha. Diashmina Lach Reb Meir. If you say Lach Reb Meir, I would think what from Rosh Chodesh till Tisha B'Av is Asa. I feel halacha that Diashmina Lach Reb Meir. I would say Havamina feel Rosh Chodesh. Even from Rosh Chodesh. Kamash Malon Lach Reb Shimon Gamliel only the week of guys, but not from Rosh Chodesh. Diashmina Halach Reb Shimon Gamliel. I would say even after Tisha B'Av. Havamina feel Achra Tisha B'Av is Asa. So Kamash Malon, Halacha Reb Meir, that what? No, that afterwards it would be Mutta. Thank everyone for listening. Have a good Tavach to everybody.